I'm Ken Austin. I'm the co-founder of ADEC here in Newburgh, Oregon, manufacturer of dental equipment since 1964. And it's my pleasure to work with you today because we're going to talk about the TotaChair, which is a great rotary project.
Ken, when did you first think about this portable chair? You've been in the business a long time.
Well, the portable chair has been with ADEC for some time because we built our first portable chairs for an operation in Canada for treating patients in the outlanding areas where they'd fly in a small plane. But it was big enough that they could take a fairly sizable package for the chair, and in many cases they left the chair there. After getting involved with portable equipment, I realized that there's many cases where you need to have the ability to put the chair in a small airplane, in a small space, or in a canoe, or even in an SUV, or on the back of an animal. And so there's always been this desire of mine to build something that would be a nice backpack size. So the TotaChair is a lightweight. Tota comes from the fact that it's totable. If that's a word.
I think that's a word, yeah.
I think we're making it a word.
It would actually go under the seat of an airplane as carry-on baggage if you took it that way. It's small enough to go under the seat in front of you. So the goal was to be able to develop this chair so that the Rotary Club members could build it after hours or on weekends and use it as a fundraiser. FUN raiser, that would be something fun for the club to do, but it also is an FUND raiser, a fundraiser for the club. And it's been in their hands now for about 10 years.
Do you, can you differentiate between the normal portable dental chairs that are manufactured by companies and the TotaChair?
Well, the TotaChair has a specific use, and that is that it is collapsible, which makes it very difficult to make, and it's not it's very strong. It'll hold up to 700 pounds without any difficulty, but it's not a comfortable chair, but it can be made comfortable by putting pads on it. Many people say, why don't you upholster it? Well, then it wouldn't be as small or as lightweight, and there are many chairs on the market that are more comfortable, but not as portable. So it's a case of comfort versus portable, or comfort versus size and weight. The other thing is cost. The chair is one of the least expensive chairs that you could buy to use domestically in a school to do exams for students. There's a great need for health, hygiene, and doing treatment with what do they do with it? Fluoride. The fluoride coating.
Yeah.
Many schools need a chair to be able to do the fluoride treatments of students, where volunteer dentists come in or hygienists come in. Something that they could have a chair handy and store easily. You could put probably 5 of these TotaChairs in the same space that the ADEC portable chair takes.
How many years you're an engineer, how many years did you work on this before it finally worked? You came up with a usable model.
Well, the question is, how many years did we work on the chair before we came up with a usable model? I actually saw a medical chair that folded up, and it was very expensive, but I might say that I reverse engineered it with the permission of the people I bought it from. They knew what the project was for. It's a humanitarian project, not a commercial project. And so after once seeing a way to do it, I tried to copy right down to the very detail. I tried to copy all the details of the chair I had seen and bought, but as it went along I saw easier and faster ways of building it, and particularly the necessity that our Rotarians could assemble it.
Finally, before we go take a look at the chair, why did you do this for the Rotary Club rather than ADEC?
Well, I got involved with dental equipment for Rotary clear back in 1970. I was asked by a fellow Rotarian who was a dentist here in our club about getting some old equipment that could be donated to dentists in Africa. And he said, do you have anything that you could take from engineering or prototyping, you know, that's not saleable and make available? And I thought, well, that was a great idea, and we had a few dental units that we could donate, and pretty soon we needed to have more, and so we designed a product called the Rotadent. And without a chair, we had a unit, and when you see how some of the doctors and the assistants, nurses and people work with no chair at all, they'll have a kitchen chair or ordinary chair trying to prop it back, and the patient lean back. It's just so uncomfortable. So I would say to answer that question, I've been working on a portable chair idea since 1970.
And you've been a member of Rotary for how many years?
Well, since 1965, so I guess you could say 52.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, excellent.
There was one thing that I remember from some of the talks that you've given at the club about some of those early pieces that were being donated out to the field in Africa. And one of those being, how are they going to fix it in the field? Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I remember from when this product, the TotaChair, was going through the iterations of its design, is can it be fixed in the field with locally sourced materials? So if you want to comment on that, that's great. I just remember that being a part of.
Well, Jeff, the long story about the Rotadent is that a doctor in Portland had some 40-year-old equipment that he was going to donate to the dental dealer, and the dealer was looking for a home for it. And he saw that I was a Rotarian, and he said, maybe your club would like to do something with this unit. And I came back and talked to Dr. Guerin about this idea of sending an old unit off to a dentist in Africa who we knew and here in Newburgh that wanted something in the way of dental equipment for his village. And Dr. Guerin said, who's going to repair it? And I said, oh, I'll repair it. I'll get it up and running. It'll be like new. And he said, no, you don't understand. Who's going to repair it after it gets over there? There's not even parts available for it in the United States, let alone in Africa. And that's when he said, don't you have something that you could donate? So really, it's a long story, but you're right on. That's how it started. Worth over $8,000.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And so when a dental school asks for a contribution, they say, we'll give you a check.
But when the internet came out, he said this will be about as exciting as the fax machine.
Yeah, and well, you know, I'll go in a minute.
Well, I know.
That's it. Just needed a little bit of
No.
my pretty
Hey,
muggy
I had
face
to
up there.
ask you, 10 minutes from downtown, but like down in some people where you were, how that would change my way of thinking. Yeah. What, don't know what dentists do. Don't you think it would be a great option to have stirrups that you could hook to this thing and then you could use it for gynecological? Don't put me on the spot.
That's using it. That's more than it was intended for.
Well, you know, I was just thinking.
Well, we had this little Japanese doctor down in San. Yeah. Everything is predicated on each of the components. If we raise the chair up higher, we'd have to make the legs longer. If we make the legs longer, then we have to make the seat pan longer, and then we have to make the back longer. And now it's getting to be kind of unruly to keep it in a small package. So our experience with dental equipment has been to take what is an optimum height for a doctor sitting on a stool to work with a patient. And this is the approximate height most doctors all use. So the next important thing about the chair is simply be able to lower the back very easily so that you can put it clear down into a supine position. It's a simple basic lock. You can raise it up with one hand. It takes two hands to lower it. And this is high as it will go. Again, length is predicated on all of the components. So the cylinder is custom built. We manufacture that right here. We, meaning the Rotary Club, does the work on it. And parts are made at a supplier here in Newburgh. The other part about it is with patients, they need to have some leg support. So we found that we could have no support, which was in here originally, and now we have, so you could actually have it, if a patient passed out, you could actually let them lay down. I think these are squeaking.
Thing. Then we'll have a thing of the chair, and go into the manufacturing phase of it, and then we'll have a picture of it in the bag, out of the bag, put together, and then they can go over to a video thing. But the main thing we want from you is, because it gets rid of some of these questions about, well, why can't it have adjustable legs? Well, why can't it have this? Well, why doesn't it have that? And why, you know?
It's the bare essentials to providing good dentistry. When somebody travels into a very third world country or into let's say it was a disaster zone, something like this in Haiti would have been wonderful during the earthquake. Because we saw many patients just being laid out on the street. And this could be used for medical just as well as dental. They're much better than having it.
So cut, and you could discuss its package. Like,
Well, I think one of the great things is some Rotarian came up with the idea that the instructions would be printed right on the bag and there wouldn't be any way to lose the instructions, and it would certainly be better than have them printed on the chair. And we have a Rotarian that does the printing for us in his shop. It's all community involvement as far as I can see. And it certainly is a FUN raiser, and I'm having fun doing this afternoon.
and you could carry it, flip it under your seat,
Right.
put it on the back of an airplane.
And the chair weighs less than 25 pounds, so you could package two chairs together and be under the 50-pound minimum on the airlines.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of the pictures from the metal chairs that were done earlier, hauled on the back of yaks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if those were ours or if those somebody else's.
No, that
but
was an ADEC chair.
that was an ADEC chair.
We had a
Okay.
portable chair on the back of a yak, which this would pack nicely either this way or this way on a pack saddle. Some people say they ought to have straps on the back of the chair so I could put it on like a backpack.
Backpack. I was wondering about that.
But that just adds to the cost to the people that don't want straps.
As it does.
And if you wanted straps, you could take it to a local supplier and say, put some straps on this for me.
That seems like that would be pretty easy to do.
Yes. And picture of you with the chair. And then you can edit these in and out however you want to do
Yep.
it, but so that you,
Well, you could take and put it together.
No, we're gonna have a separate video for that. We have
Yeah,
a
we're gonna-
training video.
For everybody, and because this is a volunteer operation, it would be awfully easy to get mixed up on what chair to send. And so someday there may be some components put together, but then it adds to the cost of inventory. And again, you want to be sure what's in the box is what you're going to get. This way, everybody is assured of getting exactly a chair as it was meant to be, and not, you know, we've never really had a quality issue in all the chairs we've built, but it is a quality issue if you don't ship all the parts, or you misship what somebody ordered. And with 50 years of experience in designing dental equipment, I feel very comfortable that I would say this is a professional design chair that is being built by volunteers. Or you can just do it down there.
That was